We're here tonight with Marler Stone, Janie Paris, and Ron Gephart, and we are just about to start production on Death of a Salesman. And we thought it'd be a really nice idea to get together and just chat about the production as we get started. Start with you, Marler, I guess. I know this is a huge production. You've done it before.
Yeah, played Willie Loman 19 years ago.
Yeah.
Is that long ago?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it was.
Right.
1992, I think.
March the 5th, 1992.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been done in Memphis since then. That I don't think it has.
Trying to think. Yeah, you're probably right.
So, is it a daunting task to take this on?
You know, when I did it, I recall how the words flow so well that it is not. It's a daunting task. It's a long show, and a lot of Willie Loman has a lot of lines, but it's so well written that in my case they almost would flow. Do you kind of feel that, Janie?
Yes.
Janie did Linda back
Yes.
then, and they just kind of flow, and it is a great work of art. So, but it's a great work of art, great poetry as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. How about you, Ron?
Well, I did Willie once myself.
That's right.
I was 24 years old. The lines are right at the tip of my tongue, I probably, which is firmly in my cheek. But yeah, I think having lived 35 years since then, I've got a new insight into. Now, even back then, though, my father had Alzheimer's disease, and I think the dementia, but we didn't know it back then. But I think I played quirkiness of my father then, and I think probably that's what informs the character for me more than anything is this dementia. In fact, he could probably have been a pretty good salesman if he didn't have the dementia. I mean, and I don't know whether his values would have been any better or not, but he would have probably been much more successful if he could remember where he was at. No, I mean, no, Willie. Okay. My father, he was.
Oh, so you're saying that he has dementia?
Yeah, Willie, the dementia, and the way he rehearses himself, including the values. I think when he, for instance, he in the scene where he talks about the elm trees, the two beautiful, they cut them down, and then later on he tells his sons that to go cut down those trees. You know, he's always contradicting.
He also is contradicting himself on the Chevrolet. That's the lousiest car that was ever made.
Yeah.
And then Biff's right in the same page. Biff is a lazy bum. He's
a hard worker.
Yeah, he's a hard worker.
So I think he really literally forgets what he said from one moment to the next.
That's a good take. I like it.
And also I think I'm glad you do get the director right. We'll start right now. But I think that informs Willie as much as anything is that idea that he has to fall back on the bumper sticker mentality, because sometimes that's the most secure thing he's got. It's like my dad. He couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, but he'd sit in church, stand in church, even with the Alzheimer's at the worst state, and he would know the hymns and be able to say them and sing them. You know, I don't think he had a clue what he was saying, and so I think Willie falls back on those really rock solid things. And I would think that my father's religion was rock solid for him, but the hymns were what was evident. And I think Willie can fall back on that, you know, to be liked and all those things that he says.
Do you think that background you had with your father is really that must help feed into just having that experience with your father must really help?
In some ways, I think that there's not much question. I think that Willie's suffering from a dementia of some sort, and probably
frankly, I never thought of that. But
I have a question to ask about it, because I never thought of that either. I thought that what was happening to his mind was from the failure, the feeling like he's a failure, as a husband, as a father, as a salesman, as everything, and that it's driving him a little crazy. I never thought of it.
Oh, but he must have been good at one time. I mean,
but this is,
and Linda's covering for him, I think, at this point.
He's washed up now, and then I think, to me, but see, I never thought of dementia, but yeah, dementia's been going on forever.
Makes a lot of sense.
I thought the mind was a direct result of what was happening in his life. I just did not think of the dementia, and I guess you zeroed in on. I mean, that doesn't mean no one's right or wrong, but I guess you zeroed in on it because of living with.
Well, that partly, and but also I don't think it does Willie a whole lot of good to worry about the Great American Tragedy, or whether, you know, the or capitalism and et cetera, et cetera. I don't think Willie really cared much about that one way or the other. I think he just wanted to be, back good at what he used to be
Oh,
good
yeah,
at.
yeah, I don't think, I agree with you there, but I just didn't, neither did Marla, I just never thought of
Yeah,
the
I didn't-
dementia,
well,
I just
it's
thought
like-
he was getting wacky from life.
It's like Hamlet. Is he crazy or is he acting crazy?
Yeah.
Is he
Which came
dementia?
first, yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
stress? Is it? I mean, that's
But that is
Whatever
enough,
y'all's
when she
interpretation,
says,
I
you
guess.
don't have to be.
have to wait and see.
Yeah.
You don't have to be smart, the man is exhausted, and then she says a poor man can be just as exhausted as a rich man.
Mhm.
When you're so exhausted and he's driving and he's getting nowhere.
But
and
that's true for Linda. I mean,
Yeah.
she does. I don't think dementia would enter into her mind.
Yeah,
She just
well, in
said-
those days, they didn't even use
Yeah.
they didn't use the word.